Now, when it comes to killing in video games, there are three defining ways in which gamers think about it. It's a choice, it's fun, or it's a challenge. However, although killing everyone can be tricky and sometimes excruciatingly painful, you don't really get anything out of it, apart from being branded as very strange by your friends. Or do you? Because it turns out that there are some games out there that do have rewards for those who manage to follow their homicidal tendencies and kill everyone they can. So let's have a chat about them, as I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 10 rare video game achievements for killing everyone. Number 10. Kill 'em all. Turbo Overkill. Turbo Overkill is an intense first-person shooter in which you play as a cybernetically enhanced one-man army fighting through an actual army of enemies. If the title doesn't make it obvious already, the game is carnage galore, requiring you to kill enemies by the hundreds. And if you want to earn the aptly named Kill 'em all achievement, well, you're going to have to kill 'em all. Yes, one of the hardest achievements in the game requires you to kill every enemy in every level, leaving every section empty and lifeless. The achievement is difficult not only due to the number of massacres you have to commit, but also because you have to be very diligent about it. Since everyone needs to die, you have to check every nook and cranny of the level to make sure you haven't actually let any unfortunate souls escape your judgment. Because of this, the process of obtaining this achievement can be quite tedious, but at the same time, you're guaranteed to feel like the Grim Reaper incarnate all the way through. Somehow, calling it Turbo Overkill still feels like an understatement. Number 9. Rise of the Machines, Stellaris. Stellaris is a science fiction-themed grand strategy by Paradox Interactive. In the game, you get to create your own star-faring empire, some of which are more genocidal than others. One of the special empire types you can play as is the Determined Exterminators, a collective of rogue machines that took a lesson from the numerous portrayals of evil AI in sci-fi media and decided to eradicate all sentient life forms in the galaxy. The task is quite ambiguous, on top of it being totally disturbing, but if you manage to commit the unthinkable act of leaving the entire galaxy devoid of life, you are awarded the Rise of the Machines achievement. To clarify, the achievement isn't as simple as conquering all of the organic empires in the game. You also have to ensure that all aliens on the planets you seize are exterminated by getting processed into biofuel for your robotic armies, or simply killed en masse with a planet-killing laser. It's an absolutely brutal and diabolical way of playing, but considering the difficulty of galaxy-sized genocide, it makes sense that you get an achievement for pulling it off. Skynet would be proud. Number 8. Badge Outta Heck, Spore. The greatest threat that you're ever going to face in Spore is the Groks, an empire of cyborgs that occupies all of the sectors surrounding the center of the galaxy. However, if you seek to get the game's most difficult achievement, the Badge Outta Heck, you have to become the greatest threat to the galaxy's greatest threat. Badge Outta Heck requires you to completely wipe the Groks off the face of the galaxy. This means eradicating colonies off about 5,000 planets with nothing but a small fleet of ships that you can probably count on the fingers of your hand. The challenge is absolutely brutal, as not only is the number of Groks' lives you have to take ridiculously high, but the Empire is also notorious for the fierce defense of its systems. Their ships have the most health in the game and are capable of attacking you even while you're traveling through their systems. You'll have to sink dozens of hours into killing all the Groks, but once you do, well, the entire galaxy will be safer for it. And you get the achievement. Yeah, you probably care more about the last part, don't you? Number 7. Zombie Genocider, Dead Rising. In Dead Rising, killing zombies is your bread and butter. You have to do it to survive, but you also get stronger, as each milestone on your crusade against the undead gives you a boost of prestige points. It can be easy to get buried deep in zombie guts and lose track of how many ex-human lives you've taken, which is why the game features a special achievement to tell you when you've committed a full genocide of Willamette, Colorado. The Zombie Genocider achievement is awarded to players who slay exactly 53,594 zombies in a single playthrough, or in other words, the estimated real-life population of Willamette at the time of Dead Rising's release. The zombies won't stop spawning at this point for gameplay reasons, of course, but the number specifically references the citizen number to indicate you've technically done the impossible and wiped out what would be every single person in Willamette in the span of a single playthrough. It seems like Frank doesn't just cover wars, he is the war. A one-man war waged against the undead civilians of a small Midwestern town. Number 6. This is the end. Until Dawn. Back when Until Dawn was released, Supermassive Games, the studio behind the game, made a huge deal about there being 256 endings, including one where every single survivor dies. Well, they must have been really proud of that last one, especially because there's an achievement for creating that exact scenario. Called This Is The End, the achievement requires you to kill off every single playable character under your control, including Josh, despite him being more of a side character. Although death in Until Dawn is as easy as letting all of your characters fail their QTEs and making all of the wrong decisions, it can be quite tricky to get it, as sometimes it's hard to decide which choice is worst for the particular survivor. If you manage to do everything wrong and don't make it through the night, however, the game will grant you a consolation prize in the form of an achievement. Now, it's consolation not because everyone you are in charge of keeping alive is dead, but because the ending you get this way is kind of underwhelming. Well, you win some, you lose some. Number 5. Hackett's Quarry Massacre: The Quarry. Similar to Until Dawn, Supermassive's more recent release, The Quarry, also comes with an achievement for getting every single survivor killed. This said, the achievement called Hackett's Quarry Massacre is special in that, unlike most other entries in Supermassive's horror series, killing every single playable character in The Quarry comes with a unique ending as well. After you manage to lose all of the playable characters, you get to see a unique credit sequence where a couple of podcasters talk about the achievement's namesake. The fact that no one makes it out alive makes the event of the game seem shrouded in mystery to everyone who didn't witness them, and the podcasters mention some of the conspiracies that are connected to it. The ending is significantly different than the other conclusions you get by saving all or some of the survivors, so it's actually worth grabbing the achievement for more than just a fancy trophy on your profile. The sequence is a bit tough to sit through on account of all of the corny jokes that Podcast Duo makes, but it's still nice that they acknowledge just how bad of a job you did in keeping everyone alive. Number 4. No Show: Wasteland 3. Failing a tutorial can be painful at the best of times, but failing it so catastrophically that you cause the death of not only your characters but also an entire nation was probably something you want to bury somewhere deep in the back of your brain and forget about it. However, in Wasteland 3 you get an achievement for it as well to remind you of your failure. No Show is an achievement you get for never making it to Colorado, meaning that in the tutorial you let all of the Rangers die and triggered a secret bad ending where your inability to stay alive has caused the defeat and death of not only your team, but all of the Arizona Rangers back home whom your expedition up north was supposed to save. The ending is absolutely brutal and quite embarrassing if you genuinely didn't mean to kill everyone. Still, there's an achievement for it, so I guess it's not that bad. I mean, you can always just tell everyone you let the Rangers die on purpose so you could get it. But you'll never be able to fool yourself, though. That's just a shame that you'll have to bottle up every time you look at your new, shiny trophy. Number 3. Manifest Destiny: Red Dead Redemption. In Red Dead Redemption, you can kill thousands of people with almost no repercussions. The Old West won't change too much due to your killing spree. But this said, the same rules don't apply to animals, but you do get an achievement for wiping them out. Manifest Destiny is a special achievement for those Red Dead Redemption players who manage to kill every single bison on the map. Now, this reward is special because the bison are the only creatures in the game that are programmed not to respawn after they're killed, which means that when you do kill them all, you actually do kill them all, with no chance of them ever coming back. The consequences of getting this achievement are permanent, so if you enjoy having bison roam in your in-game map, you might want to keep this one for last, but then again, maybe you value claiming your virtual Manifest Destiny more. If so, animal genocide it is. Just don't blame anyone once your map becomes a bleak and empty space, serving as a permanent reminder of your crimes against nature. Number 2. Not a People Person: The Complex. The Complex is an interactive full-motion video storytelling game in which you play as a scientist trapped inside a research facility alongside 8 other people as oxygen slowly runs out of your prison. The game's story plays like a sci-fi thriller, which naturally means that death is a common occurrence and each of your choices can lead to a character's demise. Actually, if your choices are especially bad, you can end up killing all of them. This is how you get an achievement called Not a People Person. This special achievement, named in reference to the kind of misanthropic person you have to be to let everyone die, is granted when you reach any of the game's endings that lead to all of the scientists dying. The type of ending doesn't really matter so long as the number of bodies is right. The game simply wants to see all of the portraits of your characters be tinted with red and have a funny little skull icon next to them, indicating that they lost their lives in some kind of horrible accident. Well, if that's what the game wants. And number 1, I and It: Prey 2017. Despite its linear gameplay, Prey is actually a rather complex title, with multiple story-defining choices tied to its shooting segments. Most of these choices are meant to define your character's humanity, and as you might already suspect, this includes how well you treat the other crew members trapped aboard the Talos 1. You can either help them survive and escape the horrors of the ship, or let them die. But if you seek to get the achievement I and It, your only option is to kill them with your own two hands. The achievement is awarded for giving in to your monstrous side and ensuring that none of the 42 human crew members leaves the ship alive by personally taking them down. Yes, the task isn't as easy as simply letting the survivors die, you have to kill them yourself. This makes the achievement quite challenging to obtain, as sometimes you'll have to race against other disasters that are trying to kill your colleagues as well. Because, seeing them die a horrible death just doesn't hit the same way as when you're the one doing it. Weird. And there we go, my friends. Those were 10 rare video game achievements for killing everyone. I hope you enjoyed that, and let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below. As always, I've been Jules. You can go follow me over on X and Instagram, where it's @RetroJ, but the O is a 0. Hope to see you over there, my friends, and I hope you're treating yourself well with love and respect, because you deserve the bloody best, alright? As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.